Hi everyone, I hope you're well. This is CoinsKid. Just gone down to Bitcoin. We've got a CoinsKid crew. So right now, Wall Street Journal, Seeking Alpha, Bloomberg, you name it, they're all saying that Wall Street and S&P 500 is in a bull market because it's gained 20% from the October low. So it's showing positive signs and strength in the market. Not bullshit, not opium. This is something I've been showing you for ages. Since the start of the year, the S&P 500, we've been keeping an eye on it as a possibility to give a game away. It's a looking glass. It's a big major signal that we wanted to see the crypto markets, whether they're going for a correction or not. We're looking at confluence in other charts, and it's not bullshit, it's not opium, it is what it is, it's data. And right now we're getting a beautiful signal in the stock market. We're getting a beautiful signal from the S&P 500. A few weeks ago, I think around about 2 months ago, we put in the beautiful bullish cross on the 20 and the 55 week EMA on the S&P 500 just there. I've always said to you, we look back historically since 1957. It's always been a positive thing for the S&P 500. So all I do is respect the data, not emotion. I know the emotion and people, pessimism, bearishness and all that, but right now I'm respecting the data. Bitcoin's in an uptrend. It's having a correction. It's coming back to support. And we've got positive things going off in the S&P 500, which is what we want to see. Okay, so for me, I think, and I've gone through this with you, got a beautiful wave count in the S&P 500 with a possibility to put in a massive all-time high relatively soon. Possibly by May next year. This is something I'm looking at, the 1618, and I've gone through this with you. So obviously it's a crypto channel. I do cover Bitcoin, but we need to see the markets looking healthy for Bitcoin to be relatively healthy as well. So I think that Bitcoin will play catch up, but at the minute obviously it's going for its correction. I've gone through the charts with you on the S&P 500, but for those that are new to the channel, let me dive into them charts right now. But all I want to say, this is a positive sign, and this is something we've been looking at as confluence to the bull run for Bitcoin here. Not bullshit, not opium. I know people are still bearish. They're thinking we're going to go to 10k, 12k and things like that. Obviously anything can happen. We've had all the FUD come out recently from Binance and the SEC suing Binance and Coinbase there, and it's it's sort of seen a 5% crash on Bitcoin. Whoopie-doo. But anyway, aside from that, let's dive into the S&P 500 right now. So taking a quick look at the S&P 500 index then before diving to Bitcoin, for those that are new to the channel, this has been a massive correction, and what we did here, a very bullish statement for the S&P 500 and equally Bitcoin when it happened. I always drop the confluence in other charts to show you the direction. This is what you need to do. We broke this resistance way back here in January, had this retracement back into this resistance here, and then we dropped back to this neckline of support, and then we're starting to go again. So in my opinion, like I said to you, I think that this is a powerful wave three because we've broken this high here. This yellow line was a level of resistance that we needed to break to confirm that this wasn't a bearish retrace, and we're looking for a third wave to the downside. Like I said to you at the time, with the bullish cross on the 20 and 55 EMA, we're looking for the continuation, we're looking for the close above the yellow line, and right now we're seeing the follow through. So at the minute, I can't be bearish on this chart until it starts to turn around, okay? Because what we're doing here, from the bottom of the 0 fib, we're retracing to the 1 fib with a possibility of breaking it and actually putting a new all-time high with a minimal target to the 1272 at 5259 for the S&P 500. Possibly some kind of retrace to that high, because like I've always said to you, swing high, swing low, and then the 1618 could possibly be met for the S&P 500. Okay, so you can clearly see right now this is a very, very powerful move that the S&P is going through, and it's a very, very powerful move, and it would indicate to me that this is some kind of wave three of a massive impulsive move which is forming off this low right now. So again, I can't be bearish on this chart, and it's not bullshit, it's not opium. This is a data signal that we printed way back there in May, and this is a beautiful little signal. We've looked at the charts, we've looked at the history for this particular signal, and it's never not failed to print a higher high before losing the low since 1957. There's 18 instances of it. So again, it's just getting a follow through. It's beautiful. Obviously it's going to come up and come down and things like that. This is how it works, but as long as you can keep coming up and down in beautiful uptrend structure, then you are in fact in a bull market. You're in an uptrend. It really is that simple. Okay, so a lot of work to get through obviously, but right now this is sort of rearing its head and increasing the probabilities that is a wave three. Like I said to you as well, this retracement, this correction just there, which got everyone super bearish of a doom and gloom sort of mega stock market crash and things like that, and Bitcoin going to 3k and things like that, all it was is a correction coming back down to the swing high. So basically swing high, swing low, find support, up you go basically. Look, so you got that key level resistance just there that you melted through without back to support. You've come up, put an impulsive movement, you come back down, corrective movement. Right now you're looking to come back up. So obviously a lot of work to get through, and there's absolutely no guarantees, but the structure is looking pretty tasty, just like crypto structure is, okay, especially for Bitcoin. Let's dive into the Bitcoin chart right now, see what we can see. So looking at Bitcoin on a daily time frame, at the moment we look as though we might be forming some kind of falling wedge. Now these falling wedges, these can get really tight towards the apex. We did form a rising wedge way back there off that June low last year. We got really tight here, didn't we? We actually traded this as a community. Like I said to you at the time, if you lose that support just there, we've got to go short, put a stop loss on a previous swing high, and we'll ride it all the way down to the technical target, which is where you form the wedge. At that point we took profit. It was a huge trade for the CoinsKid crew, and then we started to come back up the stairs. And at this point, what I was anticipating here, that this rising wedge was actually the Adam of an Adam and Eve bottom. So this was the Adam, this was a sharp retracement, then this was a rounded bottom like this coming back up. But at this point, when we started to break back above the weekly EMAs right there, as the DXY began to break down as confluence, we put in some kind of black swan, in my opinion. And then, you know, obviously we swiftly recovered, and right now we started to come back up into this resistance to carry out this sort of big Adam and Eve bottom, came back in a retracement and then broke it again. So I think what we're doing here, obviously we've got this beautiful resistance here that we've melted through, and all we're doing is coming back to it slowly but surely for support for the continuation. Okay, so I can't be too bearish yet, okay, because all we're going through is a retracement, in the sense that what we've got is a beautiful impulsive move, some kind of correction coming back, possibly some kind of reversal pattern, which is a falling wedge, which is actually a bullish reversal pattern. And then once we break this resistance, we'll begin to come back up, and this next move could be a very powerful wave 3, in my opinion. Okay, and the fact that the S&P 500 is doing what it's doing is sort of revealing the future to us. This is why I keep an eye on that for you. So at the moment, I think that, you know, obviously all we're doing is coming back, but we are getting really tight here. If you take a look right now, what we've got is this key resistance, and this is why the other day I did actually go short off this previous retested resistance. I did post it on Twitter whilst away. I rode it all the way down. I took profit a little bit earlier than I should have, to be honest with you, but eventually what we did do is come all the way back down to this neckline, and this is why at the point, you know, with confluence of the charts and the RSI and the weekly as well, I actually jumped in to a beautiful spot position on Bitcoin and some long opportunities as well, which I've actually took profit on as well. So again, it's just riding the waves, isn't it? You can clearly see support. So, you know, if we do start to come up here, this will be a key level of resistance retest to me. We'll get rejected again and then begin to come back down. And what we're doing here is getting really tight for XRP until we break this white line. I think breaking this white line, you know, wherever it is at the time, please remind me, because at that time, I think just like this opportunity that we've got here, we're getting really tight, compressed rising wedge. You know, we went long and we put a stop loss on the negation of this potential breakdown pattern, and this was a massive, beautiful trade for us. So I think in time, wherever it is, if we break it here, then I will be looking to go long, not with my life savings, but with quite a substantial amount of leverage, just there with my stop loss on the swing low. And that's really simple. That's how I'm going to negate the trade, basically. And then the technical target will be a full retracement to where we created the wedge, the falling wedge. So just like this is a sort of reversal pattern coming down, this is a reversal pattern coming up. You know, you're getting tight, you're getting compressed there. Look at this. Compression leads to expansion, compression leads to expansion. Okay, so you know, this is a very tradable event that's coming up for XRP. I do apologise. Bitcoin, again, we've got a rising channel there, and then we broke down, and this is something we traded as well as a community. I think way back there we got the sort of falling wedge, sorry, we traded that as a community as well. We've got another falling wedge just there, we've got another falling channel. You know, so falling channels like this that get really tight. Look at that, really tight, compressing. They are bullish reversal patterns. I think we've got one at the bottom of this bear market just there, compression, and we broke out as well. So, you know, I'm looking to trade this in time, providing we do what we do when we usually come down and we get really tight and compressed, is break to the upside. Okay, so again, there's no guarantees, but what I'm looking at for Bitcoin is come back up into this trend line, possibly get rejected, have one last flush down towards that line would be amazing for those that have missed this opportunity, and then boom, from there we start to come back up, okay, for XRP. So I'll keep you updated as best I can, but at the minute this to me is forming some kind of beautiful tightening range that's getting really compressed in there. So like I've always said to you, compression leads to expansion, and sometime in the future I expect that this white line will be broken as resistance, and when it is, this is the time to go long and put your stop loss on the previous swing low. Really is that simple. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that update. In a minute I can't be too bearish. Obviously it's chop, we're up, down, we're sideways, whatever. You know, there's always opportunities. I think on the hourly time frame, if we start to zoom in for Bitcoin right now, we can see some God candles, and we do like to trade these God candles. I remember when we were here, come all the way down, I said to you there's a God candle just there, and we went long here and rode it all the way up, took profit at that point. You know, it's an amazing little opportunity there, because God candles give the game away. If we take a look here, we've actually got a God candle just there. So if we drop a horizontal line in for Bitcoin, just there, horizontal line. And what I mean by God candles is that when you get the breakdown, you get compression lead to expansion, you do usually come back up to retest that as resistance. And you can clearly see at the moment for Bitcoin, we've not necessarily come back up to that level, which is roughly that trend line just there. So let's drop that in, okay? So just there, 27562 for Bitcoin. So are there any God candles to the downside? Let's take a look right now for Bitcoin. So if you clearly look here, we've got a God candle here. We've got some kind of reversal pattern, double bottom down here, and then we broke, okay, bust a move. So just here, let me drop a horizontal line in for Bitcoin. So at the minute, there's a possibility that you're going to get that and that, okay? So at the minute, we're just sort of caught in a washing machine. We're just trading the chop, trading the range as best as we can, you know, just trying to survive in this market. But I do think in time, given the structure I'm looking at for Bitcoin and the fact that the S&P 500 is breaking out of the way free, I think it's given us a signal basically for Bitcoin, and eventually we'll start to come back up. So at the moment, I think we're caught between that level of support and that level of resistance, and it might just get a bit rangy, a bit bound, you know, a bit sort of choppy sideways action for Bitcoin right there until we break this white line with power. And when we do break that, we want to see a volume breakout as well, which backs up the breakout, okay? Hope you enjoyed that update. Stay healthy, stay strong, stay tuned. Take care everyone, back to another update on Bitcoin. Bye bye.